Heavy products can weigh your hair down, making your hair to sink, making you think that you have a high porosity hair when your hair is obviously weighed down. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Agozim here. If you're new to my channel, my name is Chiagozim Ezigwe. I'm a natural hair content creator and entrepreneur at Agozim Naturals, and I live in Abuja, Nigeria. My channel is all about natural hair and lifestyle, so you are welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about hair porosity. I'm sure you've heard that before. Porosity. I'm sure you're wondering what hair porosity is. So hair porosity is basically the level at which your hair absorbs and retains moisture. So let me just break it down. Hair porosity is basically how thirsty your hair is and how satisfied it remains after you've given it water. So that is just what hair porosity is in a nutshell. In my opinion, hair porosity is the most important thing everybody in this natural hair community should take note of. Without your hair porosity, how are you going to select products? How are you going to moisturize your hair? How is your hair going to retain moisture? Hair porosity is the chief of all natural hair terminologies, but it's poorly used. Even natural hair product brands tend to focus more on volume, on the hair typing system, on length, ignoring that hair porosity is the chief of all these terminologies I just mentioned. Let me talk about the importance of hair porosity. Knowing your hair porosity is highly important. Number one importance of hair porosity is that it will help you select the right product for your hair. Your hair's reaction to a particular product is totally based on porosity. I have low porosity hair. I try to stay away from products that have very thick consistency. For example, leave-in conditioners, because I know that it's going to take time to penetrate my flat hair cuticles. Number two importance of knowing your hair porosity is that it's going to save you money, time and headache. Number three importance of knowing your hair porosity is that it will help you moisturize your hair better. It's one thing to spritz water on your hair, and it's another thing for that water to be absorbed and retained for a very long time. Knowing your hair porosity is going to help you select the best moisturizing method. Is it the LOC or the LCO method? The fourth importance of knowing your hair porosity is that it will reduce breakage, dryness and freeze. Number five, and the final importance of knowing your hair porosity, is that it will help you prevent overloads, moisture overload, protein overload. Because you already know the kind of hair porosity you have, you won't go ahead over moisturizing your hair or over using products that contain protein on your hair. Now let's get down to knowing which porosity your hair belongs to. So there are three types of hair porosity, which are low porosity, the normal porosity or the medium porosity, and the high porosity. If you look at this diagram over here, so this diagram is what the hair structure looks like under the microscope. If you look at the body of this hair structure, you will notice that there are like scales on the body of this hair structure. These scales are known as the cuticle layers of the hair. So these cuticle layers are like gateway through which products and moisture enters the hair. So it determines how products move in and out of the hair. Do you understand? So let's dive into what high hair porosity is. So this is what the cuticle layer of a high porosity hair look like. So you notice that the cuticle layers of this high porosity hair are rough. So products and moisture can easily go in and out of the hair very, very fast because the cuticle layers are open. Number two type of hair porosity is the medium or the normal type of hair porosity. If you take a good look at this diagram again, you notice that the cuticle layers are not so raised and they are not so closed. So in medium hair porosity, it's harder for product to escape the hair compared to high porosity because the cuticle layers are slightly raised and they are slightly closed. In medium porosity hair, moisture stays for a longer period of time. The third type of hair porosity, which is the low porosity, which is where my hair belongs. In low porosity hair, the cuticle layers are flat, almost short. This means that it takes a longer time for moisture to penetrate the hair, and when it finally does, it stays there for a longer period of time. As you can see, this hair strand for low porosity hair is smooth compared to the high and the medium porosity hair. Cuticle layers of low porosity hair are almost short. I know you'll be wondering, so how is moisture going to enter the hair? For example, if you have low porosity hair, it's advisable to use heat when you are deep conditioning your hair. If you're buying product, try to buy products that have really light consistency, because if it's too thick, it's going to take time for that product to penetrate your hair. So buy products that are very, very moisturizing. One question: can you change your hair porosity? The answer is yes. Your hair porosity can change. If you have heat damage or chemical damage, yes, your hair porosity can change. For example, look at my hair over here. This was when I had color damage. Normally I have low porosity, but when I had color damage, my hair switched from low porosity to high porosity. So when the cuticles are damaged either by heat or chemicals, yes, your porosity can change. So now let's talk about the porosity test, how you can determine your hair porosity. There are different ways you can determine your hair porosity. Number 1 is the water test. Number 2 is the slide test. And number 3 is the water bead test. So for the slide test, take out a strand of hair. This is not my real hair, this is a wig, but let me demonstrate using this hair right here. So take out a strand of hair. So this is a strand of hair. I don't know if you guys can see this. Slide your fingers up and down this hair strand. As you slide your fingers up and down your hair strand, if it's rough, that means your cuticles are open. That means you have high porosity hair. If it feels smooth as you slide up and down your hair strands, that means your cuticle layers are closed. It means you have a low porosity hair. Also, as you slide up and down your hair strands, if it's not so rough, if it's not so bumpy, that means you have a normal or medium porosity hair. The second porosity test is the water test. This is basically done by taking out a strand of hair, put that clean strand of hair in a clean transparent cup of water and allow it to stand for 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes you come and you notice that your hair is on the surface of the water, just know that you have a low porosity hair. If it's in the middle, that means you have a medium or normal hair porosity. If it sank to the bottom, that means you have a high porosity hair. So if you look at this picture over here, the hair on top signifies low porosity hair. The middle one signifies normal or medium porosity hair. The hair at the bottom signifies high porosity hair. So this is what it looks like. To be very, 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 very honest with you guys, I don't like this test at all because it can go wrong. A lot of factors that can affect the result of that test, giving you a negative result, making you think you have a low porosity hair while you have a high porosity hair. One factor that can affect this result is oil. In as much as I said, use a clean strand of hair. If your hair has a drop of oil on it, that means it's definitely going to float. Even if you use a freshly washed hair strand, the residual oil from your conditioner or from your shampoos on that particular hair strand is going to make the hair strand to float, making you feel that you have a low porosity hair. Another factor that might affect this test is surface tension. So let me take you guys back to chemistry. So guys, from chemistry, we know that on the water surface there are forces known as cohesive forces, right? So let me illustrate with this. So on this water surface right here, on this water surface, those cohesive forces on the surface of this water is going to prevent the hair strand which you're going to put inside this water to check your hair porosity. So the hair strands are too light to break this barrier, enabling it to penetrate the water, right? So once you drop the hair strand on the surface of this water, is going to remain on the surface of the water, giving you a negative result, making you think that you have a low porosity hair. So basically these two factors can make your hair float, making you think that you have a low porosity hair. There are still factors that can make your hair sink. Heavy products can weigh your hair down, making your hair to sink, making you think that you have a high porosity hair when your hair is obviously weighed down. So now you guys can see why I said I don't like this water test, because it can give negative results, making you think that you have low porosity hair when you have high porosity hair. The third way to check your hair porosity is the water bead test. Take a look at this diagram here again. You notice that there are water beads on the surface of this hair. For me, this test is as unreliable as the water test because the hair strands might still be coated with oil, preventing the water from penetrating the hair, thereby leaving water beads on the surface of the hair. So this might make you think that you have low porosity hair while you have high porosity hair. In my opinion, guys, the perfect way to know what your hair porosity is basically for you to monitor how your hair reacts to different products. Know the kind of product consistencies your hair likes, the kind of product your hair absorbs fast. That way you know your hair porosity, and try as much as possible to stick to those products when you finally find them, to prevent wasting of money and wasting of time and headache. So guys, I'm sure by now you know what hair porosity is and the different tests you can use to check your hair porosity. If you found this video helpful, do give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to share, drop a comment in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Do take care of yourself. Bye.